Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, friends of Japanese art prints. Well, my name is Dieter. Hello. And I am the manager and owner of the Artelino company. What's the Artelino company? Quite simple. We sell Japanese prints in weekly online auctions, and we also produce videos focused, centered around Japanese prints on a regular or sometimes irregular basis. Today's video is about this triptych. It's by Kokuni Masa Utagawa, and it's from 1889. It was made in traditional Japanese woodblock printmaking technique, and it shows a huge procession of Emperor Meiji and Empress Haruko from the Chiyoda Palace to the parliament at the occasion of the declaration of Japan's first constitution. Okay, but before I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that, first we want to show you a few detailed images of this wonderful triptych, and we don't take it from the screen behind me. We take these detailed images directly from this woodblock triptych. Well, the procession, they started here at the Chiyoda Palace, the residence of the emperor and the empress. And well, they left here, first crossed this bridge. This bridge crosses the moat surrounding the castle residence, and then they crossed the Niubashi. Bashi is the Japanese word for bridge. So Niubashi bridge is it's a little bit superfluous, but better to understand for foreigners. And there's this huge procession. This is the Sarakuda Gate, and there you see the carriage with the emperor, the empress, and their son, and huge crowds, policemen holding back the crowds, cheering crowds, and they move in this direction. And there, this is the Dai building, the new parliament, and of course in the background you have Mount Fuji. When Emperor Meiji ascended the throne in 1868, he was only 15 years old, a teenager. Well, imagine. Well, then the residence of the imperial family was moved from Kyoto to Tokyo to the Chiyoda Palace, which you saw in our images and which you could see on this woodblock print. The young teenage emperor took the name of Meiji, which in Japanese means the enlightened one. He had actually only representational function, little power, but because he was revered like a god, especially by the rural population, he had a huge impact in everything what the royal couple, the imperial couple did. They were swiftly copied by the common people. So, for instance, wearing Western clothes, because the imperial couple wore Western clothes, common people copied it and took the kimono only for high festivities like the New Year event, for instance. A major concern for Emperor Meiji was education, and he and his wife, they traveled a lot, especially into the countryside, for instance, for opening schools. Under his reign, a general schooling system was introduced, or they went somewhere to open a steel bridge, and this drove forward the westernization and modernization of Japan. The Meiji Constitution was proclaimed on February 11 in 1889. However, it took until the November of the same year, 1889, until it went actually into effect. And it was tailored basically as a kind of a constitutional monarchy, mainly after Prussian pattern. What the Japanese had done before, they had sent exploration missions to Europe and to the USA to study the constitutions of such countries like the USA, Great Britain, France, Prussia, and maybe one or two more. And the result was the Meiji Constitution proclaimed on February 11, 1889. In this constitution, the emperor had a special position because he was regarded as of divine descent. And still, even today, many Japanese, or quite a few Japanese, think the imperial family is of divine descent. Well, the actual power, however, of the Meiji couple was rather limited. The real power was in the hands of a few wealthy oligarchs. They had risen with the industrialization and the modernization of Japan, or they came from old and wealthy families. Just to name a few of these family names: the Mitsui in the financial sector, the Mitsubishi, of course, still existing today, or Sumitomo chemical industry, still existing today. This Meiji Constitution, it lasted until 1947. The Japanese had lost the Great Pacific War, World War II, and the new constitution, of course, was tailored after US patterns and was forced by the occupation forces of the Americans. And with the new constitution introduced in 1947, finally Japanese women received the right to vote. Well, imagine, that was certainly not too early. If you want to learn more about Emperor Meiji, our website artelino.com is always a good source. There you find roughly more than 1,000 articles about Japanese prince in English, and I think roughly 250 in German. And there's also one article about Emperor Meiji. You see it in the background. Just go to Google and type in Artelino Emperor Meiji, and then you will have it. And there's also a good book which I can recommend. It's this Japan at the Dawn of the Modern Age, subtitled Woodblock Prints from the Meiji Era. It's a kind of a coffee table book, but excellent, with a lot of images. There you see always the imperial family, and as you can see, many of these woodblock prints of the Meiji era, and especially of the imperial family, were made as triptychs. Okay, so much for today. Thank you for watching this video, and I would be pleased, of course, to see you in our weekly auctions or to our next video. Well, goodbye. Thanks.